really like there from Greg Moore. You know, he really is a tremendous talent, and he showed it right there, I'd say.
Yes, you can see the fluid leaking, the water coming out of the side pod as we showed you, and it looks as though we're going green flag racing once again. Paul Tracy comes round then onto lap number 18 and is chased by Michael Andretti. Patrick Carpentier in third, Gilles de Ferran in fourth, Maurizio Gugelmin in fifth, being chased by Alonso Jr., and then the rest of the field comes through. We've already lost Andre Ribeiro and now Greg Moore, but still 24 cars in this race as you watch the battle. Alonso Jr. attacking Maurizio Gugelmin, and Alonso Jr. moves up into fifth position, and an early charge. In fact, Gugelmin loses another place there as Raul Boesel goes past. So the number 40 car, you ride with Raul Boesel, having just gone past Maurizio Gugelmin, and he chases after Alonso Jr. But it looks as though Gugelmin, the tyres fairly cool after running around behind the pace car, not looking very happy with the handling of his car, and I wonder if that's going to recover a little bit. Meanwhile, Paul Tracy just goes across the line once again. He's lapping in the 19 seconds bracket, a very quick opening bout once again from Paul Tracy. Remember, he was in the 18 seconds in qualifying, but they're running much heavier now, a full tank of fuel on board, having only completed 20 laps, and most of those under yellow flag. So Tracy very quick straight away, but we've got to keep an eye on Alonso Jr. His last lap was a 20.9, and that was as he went past. I wonder what his next lap will be, whether he's going to be slower. Well, it's a 20.6 next time around, and he gets into some clear air. Perhaps he'll be going even faster. You ride on board with Bobby Rahal, who's in 8th position, chasing after Maurizio Gugelmin, who has now dropped down into 7th place. Behind Bobby Rahal is Richie Hearn in 9th place. Excellent performance from the young Richie Hearn in the Lola, and he is the top running Lola so far.
Yeah, good effort there, as you say, by Richie. And there we are watching Maurizio Gugelmin, and there is Bobby Rahal, currently in 8th position and running along nicely. Car number 24 we hear, Hiro Matsushita running very slowly, relatively slowly at the back of the field. I think he might have got the black flag that time around, or if not, they're likely to give it to him fairly soon. He's just not up to speed on this track, and he's a danger. He comes in for a lot of criticism from some of the drivers, but Hiro is actually pretty good. He does use his mirrors fairly well, but if he's that slow, there's really no point in him staying out there. And I think shortly we'll see him have the black flag shown to him.
There he is on the inside, the Japanese driver in his 100th race here today, getting out of the way, doing a good job of moving out of the way. But as you say, Jeremy, it's so tough to keep out of the way of so many cars on this 1 mile track. They just get round it so quickly. It's unbelievable to see the speed of the cars here, and the leader's already lapping several of the back markers. Tracy's just gone past Juan Fangio, and Michael Andretti's now got that job to do as well, so no difference up front. Paul Tracy lost a couple of seconds in the traffic, and that's a feature that will go all the way through this race. You can use the traffic to your advantage perhaps in trying to catch up to the car up front, but sometimes you'll lose out because of it as well. So Tracy leads, Andretti in second, Carpentier third. You're watching Alonso Jr. and Raul Boesel at the moment, and they're in the battle for 5th place. Alonso Jr. trying to close up to Gilles de Ferran. He's next on the list, but he's lapping at very much the same pace so far.
Yeah, good, great start there by Tracy. Got a little bit of clear track now as we're watching Alonso Jr., his teammate, but Tracy sidling through the slower cars. There he goes past PJ Jones, Andretti in hot pursuit. Patrick Carpentier really doing a fabulous job in 3rd place for the rookie driver as we're watching one of the Brahma sports cars, and it's non-stop action here. There's something happening all the way around this racetrack.
So Gilles de Ferran now, Alonso Jr. is getting closer. He did a 20.6 on the last lap compared to 20.9 from Gilles de Ferran. Ferran very confident with the race setup of the car. They worked very much on that on Friday and really didn't worry about qualifying at all, but it didn't seem to matter because once they got out into qualifying he was still fast. He set the 4th fastest time, but Alonso Jr. is gradually beginning to bear down on him, and we've had confirmation that Hiro Matsushita is into the pits. It looks as though his race is run, being black flagged by the card officials and really just not quite up to speed. So a shame for Matsushita, and he goes out of the race, but that means that the leaders have a slightly easier time of it as they come up. Gilles de Ferran now coming up behind the Eagle of Fangio by the looks of things. Tracy and Andretti still up front, Hunter Jr. maybe trying to take advantage of this lapping situation to get ahead of de Ferran, but in fact de Ferran gets through very cleanly, and Hunter Jr. if anything loses out, and he's got to watch out for behind him Raul Boesel having the opportunity to close up once more.
Yeah, really doing a super job, Raul Boesel. As you said at the beginning of the show, Ben, that leading that race at Long Beach did his confidence and power of good, as also did a wonderful test midweek at Milwaukee, getting ready for the race there in the beginning of June, and Raul really taking advantage of that, running very, very strongly in the top 6 already, and that's good to see. He's a very good driver all around, and he's always been particularly good on the ovals, it seems.
Now, all you fans of the European drivers, what's happening with the likes of Franchitti and Zanardi, you're probably asking. Let me tell you, Dario is down in 16th position. There you see his name on this screen at the moment. 17th place for Alex Zanardi, down in 17th place, and he doesn't seem to be making much progress at the moment. Zanardi, who had that problem in qualifying, going out on the oil, laid down by Fangio, so he has a hard afternoon's work ahead of him. But Franchitti at the moment doing a good job holding on to 16th. Mark Blundell, by the way, he is in 14th position so far, and we haven't seen too many place changes except for these ones up front, with Alonso Jr. on the charge and chasing after Gilles de Ferran.
Boy, it's so tough getting through these slower cars. There is Michael Andretti making a move on Paul Tracy as they come past the start-finish line. He's then inside going to turn. What a great move by Michael Andretti.
Michael Andretti takes the lead of the race then as they go on to lap number 34. Michael taking advantage of the traffic, and Paul Tracy, who's been setting the pace in the early part of this race, suddenly finds that Andretti's gone past, and look, they're coming up to lap. It's Alex Zanardi. Alex Zanardi is being lapped by Michael Andretti. The winner of the previous race at Long Beach goes a lap down to Michael Andretti in the Swift chassis, the car that won the opening race of the series at Homestead. And Dario Franchitti is next on the list. Dario Franchitti in the silver car there. He moves out of the way, tries to get out of the way of Michael Andretti, although then takes his line, and we've got a yellow. It's Gualter Salles, the Brazilian. Gualter Salles has spun it, and a yellow flag has been brought out. That's on the exit of turn 3, really turn 4, as they come onto the start-finish area, and the back end of Gualter Salles' car seriously damaged after hefty contact with the wall. The yellow flag comes out on lap number 36, and I think we will begin to see pit stops. Talking to Ron Meadows just before the start of the race, team manager for the Walker Racing, he said if it goes 35 laps, just after 35 laps, then you'll see people come in. We're on lap number 36, so we could well see the cars beginning to make pit stops after this yellow flag, and they won't be allowed in straight away, but then the pit lane will be opened and the cars on the lead lap will be allowed in. Now let's see what happened here to Gualter Salles, the white car at the back of this group. Round it goes, just lost the back end. That's a serious case of going loose, as the Americans would say, and contact into the wall.
Yeah, very close behind Brian Hurt he was there as he came into that corner there. Probably lost a little just downforce on the car, both front and rear, just unsettles the car. And Gualter, he's a rookie here, it's his first time in an IndyCar, and he seems to be fine. He's pulling off the balaclava there, but a lesson learned the hard way for Gualter Salles.
On lap number 46, Michael Andretti from Paul Tracy and Patrick Carpentier, and Bobby Rahal just making a good move, in fact just lapping the car of Fangio. Just see that out of the commentary box window. Rahal